Hello and via welcome to Masterpiece Academy and Resource Center. Today we'll be learning how to apply the Bloom's Taxonomy to our literacy lessons. We're using a grade 1 book as our example. And we're going to start by first projecting the image so that it's large enough for all the students to see. Unfortunately, in South Africa, it's very hard to come by large books which 30 plus students can see while seated. So we got around this issue by actually scanning the picture in to the iPad and then projecting the image on the screen. So it says Dot and Dash are ready to play with their toys. Dot has a ball. Well, what we could do is, even before reading the statement, ask the kids what they see in the picture, okay? And then we can ask them in particular, after we've read the two sentences, where is the ball? We could use this picture to reinforce colors, purple, blue, yellow, white, red, etc. And then we can also then ask them to guess. Before we read the text, say, what kind of room is this? What do you think people do in this room? What kind of people are in this room? And they're likely going to say it's a house because they see the window and a door, and maybe they might even be bright enough to think it's a living room space because you see that when you come in, you've got something to hang your scarf and purse on, and there's boots and umbrellas by the door. And you can even ask them, what is that? Umbrella. And you might ask them, what letter does umbrella start with? U. What is that? Boots. And then you might ask them, well, what letter does boot start with? Okay. And is there one boot or two boots? Oh, can you tell me what number that is? So you'd want to pick out anything that you could use for reinforcement. Okay. And then you might ask them, we've talked about prepositions in class. Is this inside? Okay. Can you show me where outside is? Which they should point to the flowers coming from the outside. The next page says, Dash wants to play with the ball. So you might say to them, well, which one is Dash? And then they have to use some deductive reasoning. Well, obviously, I'm thinking, is this one Dash because he has the ball? Or is this one Dash? Because look, his hands are out and he's reaching. But wait a minute. But Dot does not want to share. So once we read this, we know that this one clearly is Dash, who wants to play with the ball. We look at his facial expressions. And then we know that this one is Dot, who doesn't want to share. And then we say, Dash has a truck. Dash has a truck. All right. So then we may go back and then do some review. And we may say to them, tell me, which one is Dash? And they should tell you this one. Which one is Dot? They should tell you this one. Who wants to play with the ball? Dash. That's at the bottom of Bloom's. That's remembering. Okay? In the end, what does Dash actually play with? He plays with his truck. So if they can remember this, we're at the bottom of Bloom's. Now we say, look at Dot's face. How do you think Dot is feeling? Well, this requires understanding and applying the knowledge that the ball belongs to Dot and Dash wanted to play with it, and analyzing. Well, looking at Dot's face, Dot maybe feels bad that he wasn't a good friend and didn't want Dash to play with his ball, and so Dash now has to play with the truck. Then this becomes an opportunity for a little bit of evaluation. Have you ever been selfish? What would we call, or maybe you don't even provide the word selfish. You ask them, what has Dot been? And hopefully they'll say selfish. Well, why has he been selfish? Because he doesn't want Dash to play with his ball. Well, let me ask you, have you ever been selfish? And so forth. And you can work that way. Okay, we're going to go on to the next segment of this book about Dot and Dash. Here we see Dot has a doll, and Tall wants to play with the doll. So when you're dealing with early readers, you're going to have a lot of repetition, few words in a sentence. So we're repeating, Dot has a truck. Dash has a truck, Dot has a ball. Dot also has a doll. Okay, has a. So you would stress this repeated format. And then you would ask them, well, what do you have? And then they should say, I have such and such. And maybe you ask, well, ask your neighbor what he has or what she has, so that they're practicing using this sentence formation. Then it says, Tall wants to play with the doll. Okay? Oh no, not again. But Dot does not want to share. So we know, and then we may say, let's go back. What did Dot have before that he didn't want to share with Dash? And they should remember, bottom of Bloom's, the ball. Okay? Dash has a teddy bear. We also know that you might say, what else did Dash have? Dash has a truck. Dash has a teddy bear. Look at the formation again. Has a, and then a blank. You might even practice trying to get the sentences in use by the students by writing it on the board and asking the students to fill in what they have. Okay? And if they have any hand and eye coordination, you can actually write out the sentence for them, print it out, and then they could spell the word ball or dog. You can put Bobby has a blank, and then it's their job to write in dog, D-O-G, and then you put the period. So they begin practicing writing simple sentences. Small wants to play with the teddy bear. And then you might say, which one of these are tall, do you think? Which one of these are small, do you think? Okay? And then you choose. Oh, they're small. Small there. Small wants to play with the teddy bear. They're small. And then you can talk to them. Can you tell me any rhyming words like tall, small? What other rhyming words have we heard used? Ball. Well, do you know any other rhyming words? All. Okay. Poor Teddy. Uh-oh, somebody's gotten in trouble. Time out for Dot and Dash. Then we do a little bit of analyzing. Why do you think Dot and Dash have been put in timeout? And I don't see any adults, so who do you think put them in timeout? Dot and Dash are ready to play with their toys. Well, what happened? Then they should be able to apply and say, if they were in timeout because they did bad things, they've come out of timeout because they're doing better. And do a little analysis there, and then go on. This time they're ready to share with their friends. Well, we were absolutely right. We said they had to come out of timeout because they are ready to play correctly. So that's some evaluation. Okay? And that's the end of our book. To get all the way to Bloom's, you might ask them to create their own story. You say, can you think of a time when you weren't willing to share? Or can you think of a story that will teach others how to share? And ask them to use their imagination. You can put them in a circle, and you can use the same characters, Dot and Dash, and then you can just say, the first student begins the story. Dot was in his room waiting for his friend Dash. And then the next student says, and Dash put on his coat and boots and was headed to Dot's house or whatever. And then you continue the story, hopefully where you can create a story like this one, a short one, which teaches a valuable lesson. But that is at the top of Bloom's. We do not start there. We start with just trying to remember Dot and Dash's names and the things that they play with. We start here, and when we've mastered that, then we can get into understanding about, Dash is sad because he didn't get the toy. And then applying our understanding, analyzing why they got put in timeout, evaluating their behavior, the change in their behavior, and at the very top of Bloom's, could we create our own story? An easier thing to do would be to write a sentence and ask the students to fill in the blank about what they have, ask a friend what they have, or verbally just say, I have, if they are not able to write yet. So thank you for tuning in, and have a blessed day.